Hello, welcome to Big Sarge's Training Time. I'm your host, Sergeant First Class Esmond. So, just tell you a little bit about the channel. So, what I'm here to do is hopefully use this channel and the videos we make to help prepare you as you take your journey to become a future healthcare officer in the Army. I also want to use this platform to share information about the Army. In the comments, you can talk about some things you want to learn. Maybe people that haven't joined and are interested in joining, or have a loved one or a friend that is interested. So today we're going to do how to properly eat an MRE. It sounds like a simple task, but I wanted to pick this video for the first one because I know a lot of you guys are curious of what we eat in the Army. So we're in an exciting time in the Army where we're shifting towards H2F. You should look it up. So what I'll do is I'll post a link to that in the description of the video, and a few other links too about the Army and medical recruiting. But it talks about more of the focus we're having as an Army and our shift in our culture about the right rest and exercise, and to include diet and nutrition that helps you maintain the Army lifestyle, complete your mission and return home safe and sound, and also ready to go back at it again. So no further ado, we'll get started. So everything you need to properly eat an MRE is all here in front of me. I'm going to show it to you. Most importantly, you need your MRE. See that? As you can see, warfighter recommended, warfighter tested, and warfighter approved. This is menu number 4. This is my favorite one, spaghetti with beef and sauce. I picked this one on purpose because I want to enjoy it while I'm eating it. Not all the MREs out there are the best in the world. In fact, you're going to learn that when you line up to go eat them, either in basic training or direct commission course, which is what this video is catered towards. There's probably going to be a box there with 12 MREs in it, and you're going to have a chance to grab one. It's going to be really quick, so that's where you gotta eat your carrots and make sure your eyes are snapped in, because you want to find your favorite and start looking for it in the box, because if not, you're just going to get what you get and don't have a fit. That's what my mom used to tell me. All right, so today we're going to eat this one. So prepare to eat an MRE. You also have a water source. We're in the Army, so we use canteens. So I got a canteen full of water. You're supposed to always have your helmet. If you're in the field, when you eat an MRE, you should have your helmet anyway. So what I'm going to have this helmet for today is kind of show you some of the things that we do with the helmet when you take your chow break. But I'm also going to put it on and eat with it, because the proper wear of the helmet should allow you to eat food. Because yes, in the Army sometimes we are eating in full battle rattle, combat load. Even if you're in the field, healthcare officer may not be in combat, but you may be out in the field and you may be required to eat with your helmet on. So I'm going to show you how to properly wear it so that it's tight enough and loose enough to eat. Also, you will need a rock or something. So I have that rock. I also have the helmet because if you don't have a rock, if you're somewhere, I don't know where you're going to be where there won't be a rock in the field, but you can use your helmet to kind of lean up the heater in the food packet that I'm going to show you. And lastly, every soldier should have a Gerber or a pocket knife or something, because I will tell you, opening this packet itself and the contents in it is a little difficult sometimes. Once you get this open, you can use your teeth, but I don't know how many of you remember that Batman movie with the Joker where he says, "You want to know how I got these scars?" There's a lot of memes out there about opening this and the contents in with the fake scars on the face, so I recommend you have a Gerber and or a pocket knife. So let's get started. So I'm going to open up the Gerber. This is my original Gerber. This thing, had this thing in Iraq a couple times, so it's been a long journey. Can't promise you how clean it is because I haven't had it open since then, but there we go. There's your little Gerber. So every Gerber has a knife, so we're going to be really careful when we open this, right? Oh geez, I can't even remember how to open it, right? All right, there we go. So we're going to use this little serrated one, so be very, very careful, okay? First thing you're going to do, you're going to cut open this top. So you put it on the ground. I have some carpet down here, so I'm going to be really careful I don't cut the carpet. And you're just going to slice it. It's pretty easy. You're just going to open it. Careful you don't cut yourself with that. Bam! So this is the Army MRE. So inside of this package, there's also another package with other packets in it. Very important you don't mutilate this bag as you open it, because we like being green and we like taking care of the environment. So you want to use this as a place to put your trash as you eat your MRE, so we can help leave the world a better place than what we found it, right? So, very important. Now from here, it's pretty easy to open this without the Gerber, but we're still going to use it. Trust me on that one. So, this one you can tear though. For what we can tear, we're going to tear. Tear this bag open. Again, Start to practice putting your trash in there, right? And I'm going to show you the contents of what's inside this MRE. Okay? Pretty exciting stuff. You can get these MREs at the commissary. Once you get your ID card, you can get on base and go buy one in the commissary. If you're in the reserves, if you have any friends that have them, you can order them online. You can go to your local Army surplus store, which is where I got this one, because I wanted to pick my favorite. So anyway, so inside here, so the first thing we have, multi-grain snack bread. Okay, and we got, this is it. This is the main course, spaghetti and beef sauce. You got a little packet for your spaghetti and beef sauce. All right, so what this is used for is, it used to come in boxes, but I'm glad to see the Army's going greener and eliminating that. This is a little sleeve, kind of like your Hot Pocket. Tells you your nutrition facts for your spaghetti and beef sauce. But what we're gonna do is, when the time comes, you're gonna take this meal. We're gonna do this really quickly here, all right? So I'm gonna place the spaghetti in there, and you're gonna have this little heater right here. So as you can see, later on you can pause that and kind of read it. But this heater is designed to, you rip it open, put a little bit of water in there. You don't go past the do not overfill line. And this little chemical reaction happens in here where this thing lights off and it heats up your food. And this little heater lasts, used to be back in the day when Big Sarge was out in the field, this thing would last about 30 minutes if it's not cold. But not all the heaters are created equally. So you might get one that works kinda, you might get one that's really, really hot. So be very, very careful. That's why they recommend rock or something. I always love that little picture. So we're definitely going to use a rock today because I'm going to use that to prop it up as I prepare it. So the first thing you're going to do, you're going to open it. It says operating instruction. Remove MRE, tear off top. Bam! Just like Emerald Lagasse, right? That's going to be the theme of my, as a chef Big Sarge prepares his MRE for you. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to get, we already got the spaghetti ready, a little sleeve in there. We're going to open our water source, take a little sip. That's high quality H2O right there. That's Army water. Something about a canteen makes it taste better. I'm gonna pour a little bit in there, so you gotta be careful. If you overfill it, don't panic. Don't panic. You can just dump it out. I poured it right up to the line. So what we used to do back in the day is once you do that, shake it, right? I think they still give you that guidance. We're going to shake this up, but the heater itself, if it sits at the bottom, it's going to absorb it up through there. You can kind of turn it around, but that starts to light off the heater, okay? So in a minute here, you should really see this thing start to smoke, okay? I can hear it. There you go. See that smoke coming out of there? This is where it gets hot. This is where you got to be careful. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to place this heater on the bottom. Probably should have done that first, right? So this is why you're learning how to do it, and this is why it's helpful to have your Gerber. So be careful because you might burn yourself with that bad boy. All right, so we're gonna get that in there. All right, so we're gonna do, let's get my face on here. There we go. So we're gonna get this, we're gonna zoom down, and I'm gonna show you, scoot back a little bit, rock or something. Boom. So there's our rock or something. Still got our heater going on. And we're going to look through the rest of this and see what we can enjoy. Or I'm going to tell you some of my TTPs while this thing's heating up. So you want to give this thing, I don't know, it all depends on how hot you want it. I will tell you I prefer to eat my MRE cold in the field. Don't like the heater. What they will teach you is light that heater off and let it cool down as you're eating if you don't use it. Because that way, when you throw it in the trash, you don't want to throw it in the trash without it being opened because you never know, you might start a fire in a dumpster later. So we always used to, as an NCO, I used to go around and check my guys, make sure they lit off their heater. You always get a spoon. Sometimes people carry extra spoons with them. So this spoon could be useful, very useful, definitely for the spaghetti. If you want to bring your own stuff with you later on, by all means, but everything is in here that you need. So there's our spoon. We're going to lay that out right there. Let's see, the next thing, and this is where you really want to start to look at your stuff before you prepare it. Because you might luck out and get some cheese, some jalapeno, jalapeno, whatever you call it. Unfortunately today I got peanut butter, so I'm not going to be putting peanut butter in my spaghetti. but we will save that for later. I got some raisins. I got a chocolate chip toaster pastry. I'm not going to say the real name because I'll get sued for copyright, right? And I got some blackberry jam. And I got some milk chocolate cocoa beverage powder. Boom, so there's your beverage bag. Most times you get a beverage bag, a clear beverage bag in here. If you get like something to mix for a beverage, however, that's why I always tell you to have a canteen, right? And we already said about the bread. So this is what I think is going to happen. I'm going to eat the spaghetti, right? I'm going to eat a little bit of it, tell you how that tastes. I'm going to eat the raisins for sure. I'm going to take a little bite of this toaster pastry. And then I'm going to mix the peanut butter and the jam on the bread. And I'm going to take a little bite out of that just so you can see everything. So you can see I don't fake the funk. But what you want to do is if you want to sustain and maintain, because there's 4 ways we fight in the Army. We train to fight, we train to a standard, we train to fight as we win. We train to sustain and train to maintain. So what I'm going to do is we're going to train to a standard by showing you how to eat this. I'm going to train as we fight because we're doing it sitting down right now. We're going to train to sustain, train to maintain. So to maintain for later, ideally what I would do is I probably only really want to eat this spaghetti. It's got 290 calories. If you're more hungry than that, I don't like to eat that much, but the cool thing is you can take apart your MRE and decide to save stuff for later. So what you can do, really helpful in the Army, you got these really cool uniforms where you got cargo pockets. So if you wanted to, you can roll all this up tight and shove it in your cargo pockets, save it for later. Make sure you button them bad boys, because you don't want your PB&J falling out later on, you know what I'm saying? But we're going to put that there for right now. We're going to come back to that. Like when you're doing peanut butter jelly time, all of a sudden you don't have your PB&J, you might be a little bit of sad face, sad emoji, right? All right, so finally, the other thing we got, the very last thing, is you got your packet with your condiments in here. So, let's see what we got, what we can add to our spaghetti. Moist towelette, we're going to save that for later when we clean our face and our hands. Got a little bit of iodized salt. I'm going to hold off on the salt. You know, according to the nutrition facts of this, there is 27% sodium in there, so I don't think we need this salt. Who knows? I might need it for a little later on, though. You always get a little bit of gum. I like the gum. However, it loses its flavor fast, very quickly. But it's good to get stuff out of your teeth if you can't brush your teeth, and that's why it's in there, right? And then we also have another little beverage-based raspberry thing. So if I had a beverage bag, I'd put that in there. So it's always important, save your beverage bags. Save them. You put them in your pocket, waterproof your wallet, your phone, other things like that. Or you can save it for a rainy day for when you get one of these. Because one thing you never want to do is put anything in your canteen other than water. People do it. I don't know why they do it, but they don't ever learn. So don't be that person. So we're going to save this for later. And last but not least, you got your little lighthouse, little napkin / toilet paper. Yes, if you needed this in the field after your MRE, you got quite a few sheets here where you can handle your business. You probably want to save it, maybe eat it. There's probably about 10 sheets here. So we're going to use that to wet my fingers off. Maybe save something later. You never know, right? You might hear a lot of things about MREs. Somebody will tell you when you eat them, you might not have to worry about going to the bathroom for a while. To each his own. I think if you got a well-oiled machine and you're taking care of your body, things like that happen. So pick and choose what you eat, right? All right, so this thing's getting a little warm. We're going to give it some more time here. Flip it over. That's not going to do anything because the heater's on the bottom. So we're going to leave it like that. We're going to give it another couple seconds. So while that's warming up, we're going to talk a little more about why we're here. Here to learn stuff, right? So you might hear me say who a lot in the future in videos coming up. Who is some Army terminology, some old Army terminology. I like using it, so you might hear me say who a lot if you meet me in person or throughout my videos. Whoa is pretty motivating at times, but it essentially means anything but no. So if I tell you to do something or ask you for something, you can reply with whoa, and I would probably get the gist of what you're trying to say, okay? So, all right, it's a little bit about that. Also in the description of the video below, I'm going to be posting some links that are helpful. One of them I'm going to post is to the Army's H2F, Holistic Health and Fitness. Talks about how rest is important, exercise, and nutrition. I'm also going to post down there the ACFT link so you can learn a little bit about that if you want to get ready for that. I'll post some things about Army medical recruiting, and each video will be different, so in the future the ones we'll have, I'll post things about the nature of that video that's helpful, okay? So today we're going to eat this MRE. Next week my plan is to do this every Thursday. So in the Army we do sergeant's training time on Thursdays. It gives us a chance to see, I'm a sergeant first class, so it'll give me a chance to let my squad leaders, let their team leaders go take their little fire team of 5 people and go train on whatever it is they want them to train on. So I call this big sergeant's training time because this is my opportunity to train you guys. So some time that's carved out, dedicated towards training, and that's why I thought it would be pretty cool to title my channel that. So, all right. So now the thing you've all been waiting for. Let's get into this spaghetti. All right, so it feels a little cold still. So what you want to do is, if it's still kind of cold while your heater's lit up, you can kind of move it around with your fingers on top of it. Be careful you don't touch the side with the heater, because that'll really kind of burn your fingers. These things get really, really hot, by the way. You never want to touch it with your bare fingers. So I'm going to move it around a little bit. I can already feel it getting warm. The problem is that some of the MRE is cold sometimes, but in theory, if you prop it up on your rock or something, it'll warm up. So this is what we're going to do now. We're going to take this helmet and we're going to put it on before we open this. You got to be careful how you eat it too, because you don't want to spill it. But I'm going to put this helmet on so that I can demonstrate to you how you should be able to eat with a helmet on if you're in the field, right? So take your helmet. The newer helmets look a lot different than this. A lot lighter, probably more user-friendly, but ideally, you put this helmet on, it should sit down on your head, right? It should be tight, just like that, and you should be able to talk and eat, and this should still be tight enough to where it doesn't shift too much or fall off, because as soldiers with your helmet on, you need to be able to communicate, right? So if you can open your mouth to yell at your soldiers which way to go, you should also be able to eat with this bad boy on, right? So that's what we're gonna do. So we got it on. I think we're ready. So take this heater. We're gonna put this heater inside this bag because we don't need it anymore. Nothing else. If I wanted to heat up my Pop-Tart, I could. I don't want to, so we're just gonna put it back in your little trash bag right there, right? So this thing's kind of warm. You can squish it around a little bit more. So, as you can see, there's little things to tear it. I'm gonna try to tear it, but I'm betting that it would be easier if I use my Gerber, but we'll go ahead and try to tear it. So, what you wanna do is figure out which way you wanna eat this thing. Some people prefer to eat it like this. I definitely prefer to eat it with gravity assisting me, and or a narrower top of it. It's suggested to open it like this with the perforations. You can hold it and it makes it really wide to open, but if you set this bad boy down, it'll tip over, it'll spill. If you have it up like this, I just think it's easier to kind of hold and eat. So this is my preferred method. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna hold it, right? You're gonna flip it so that everything you get in here kind of goes down, gets out of there. We don't want to make a mess, right? So I'm going to use my bag to cut this thing open, and then I'm going to show you the contents, right? So I'm going to get a big old spoonful of it. So now that I got it open, you got a little bit of spaghetti in there. You can also use it and lean it against your canteen until you're ready to eat it, if it's hot, right? Open my spoon. I'm gonna get a little napkin, and we're gonna eat. So check that out. Bam! Like Emerald Lagasse says, right? All right, now mix it up a little bit, and I'm gonna eat. So you can loosen your helmet a little bit, as long as it's Not so bad. I actually love the spaghetti from the MRE. Kind of reminds me of my my time in the field as an infantryman. So I was reading, you're just going to get to know Big Sarge real quick. So I've been in the military a little over 20 years. Before that in the Navy, about a year and a half in the National Guard, and the rest of the time to date. So what is that, 5.5? Yeah, the rest of the time in the Army, so quite a bit of time in the Army. Quite a bit of that time in the infantry. We ate a lot of MREs, so one thing that's cool about the MRE is if you have to carry a lot of them with you in your ruck, or your assault pack, you can do what we call field strip them. So you can cut your bag open, so it's not so big and bulky. You can kind of put your little contents in there where you want them. You can put it in your cargo pocket, so if you know we're doing a road march, 12-mile road march, and you take periodic rests, I'll pop, drop down on my knee real quick when we take a rest, pull security, and maybe I'll fire open my bread real quick and fire that bad boy back. I don't have enough time to put the PB&J on it, but we're definitely going to demonstrate that. You only have one spoon, that's why your napkins are important, right? Pretty good. Take a little sip of water. Still got my rock or something, just in case. I like being kind to animals, but it's nice to have this little rock here. You might be sitting here. I don't know, a honey badger might come flying out of the woods. We all know honey badgers don't play, so I got this rock to scare them away. I'm not gonna hurt them, but I'll throw it close to them if I need to. It's pretty good. So I'll try to keep these videos definitely under an hour, ideally under 30 minutes. So we're gonna power through this spaghetti, because I'm gonna pretend like we gotta get back on the range after we eat this, okay? Good stuff. My mama said you should always eat everything in front of you. Or eat everything on your plate, right? Because there's people around this world that don't got food like this. So waste not, want not, right? There we go. Mission complete on the spaghetti. So, good stuff, right? 290 calories, 20 grams of protein. Wow, that's got a lot more protein than I thought. That's good stuff. I worked out this morning. I didn't take my protein bar, so I knew I was gonna come in here and get some good training. This is my little plug, like NASCAR. I like to shout out to Menu 4. Ooh, spaghetti, 20 grams of protein. That's how you get them gains. All right. So, let's see. Next up, so I'm just gonna open these, take a little bite. I'm not gonna go ahead and eat the whole thing in front of you. I will eat it though. I'm going to have it here and I'm going to eat it throughout the day. That's another good thing. But you want to dedicate a little bit of time to eat, right? So let's open this. Raisins. So be careful. Don't just go in there and in the dark dump them in your hands and shove it in there, because you might get your little silica packets in there. So I'll go ahead and show you. These raisins are pretty moist. Good job. Good job, MRE packaging. 150 calories. Pretty good. On the box itself, there'll usually be a date on the MREs. Trust me, you'll never get any that are expired. They have a pretty decent shelf life. So most of the times when you get some stuff, it'll be pretty fresh. Next thing we got is our chocolate chip toaster pastry. 215 calories. So we're 300, 450, 600. So we're up to 600 calories already in one MRE. This beverage bag is another 140. It's about 740. Still got the stuff in my pocket, right? So what were we at? 740. Your peanut butter is 120. So that's what, 860. This is about 200. That pushes us over 1,000 calories. That's pretty good, right? So they say an MRE should sustain you all day. However, that's quite a bit below the calorie intake for a day. Definitely is good for one meal. This is about 80, so nothing special there, right? Let's open this bad boy though, right? Let's get into this Pop-Tart. See what this is all about. Ooh. I was almost about to bite it. I don't want to look like the Joker out on the day that I start my YouTube. No way. Alright, so here's your Pop-Tart. Or toaster pastry, sorry. Pretty good. So, I'm going to take this helmet off. Because it served its purpose. I want to show you what, how you can eat with a helmet on, right? Because sometimes you have to if you're in your foxhole. I don't know if they dig foxholes anymore, but I used to dig my share of them, I'll tell you that much. Cool thing about this helmet, this was in Iraq with me. Actually saved my life. I didn't get shot or nothing, but that helmet definitely saved my life. Good times. Maybe we'll get into that one day. So, next up, we got your snack bread. So again, I like to save some of this stuff for later on. Open this bad boy. Look at that. It's a nice little piece of bread, right? So, we're gonna take the peanut butter. Oh, I did the Joker thing. Sorry, I failed you guys. Luckily, I walked away unscathed. All right, there's a little bit of peanut butter. We're gonna save this. Peanut butter's good for the gains. Good stuff. Gain train, baby. Put a little bit of this blackberry jam on there. I did it again. So you can't take me anywhere. I like it though. I like making mistakes. Kind of shows you that I'm human. If I can do it, you can do it, right? Let's get that jelly on there. Look at that. And there you go. There's your little PB&J. Maybe you can fold it in half. This wasn't really a half, but use this as a little bit of a tray. And there you have it. PB&J, peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly and a baseball bat. It's good stuff. Reminds me when I was in school. As you eat your MRE, you consider everything about life. Been pretty good to me so far. Not gonna lie. It's Thursday. I like doing Throwback Thursday. I like thinking about the past, and I love how my teachers used to tell me when I looked out the window that I was never gonna get paid any money if I didn't pay attention. Look at me now. I'm a grown boy. That's good stuff. Get a little bit of this water. So far so good. There's my spoon. So the cool thing about this spoon is you can clean it off. You got a little moist towelette. You can be creative and use your napkins. You can save it for later. You could do some cool stuff with this. We used to use it for a lot of different things, so it never hurts to have an extra spoon in your little Molly gear. This thing fits really well in your little thing, so I see some soldiers walking around with that. But next I want to get into, last but least, again, we're not going to use this little thing, we'll save it for later. But I want to get into this beverage powder and show you that. I'm going to wrap the video up and call it a day. And I'll do my edits and post it, and maybe I won't edit it. I kind of like the raw training. Reminds me of being in the field, down to earth. So there's nothing special here, just your cocoa powder. This has got 1 gram of protein, so it's not going to do a whole lot for the gain train. I think you can get away without having this bad boy, but I just want to show you in case you like. Who likes their food to be bland? Not me. Pour it in there. Usually there's a line on here that tells you. There it is. So there's your line. You fill it up to about there. Eyeball it. You put more or less, it don't really matter. But shake this thing up, and you got you some milk chocolate cocoa beverage powder. If I save my heater and it was cold out here, I can have hot cocoa right now. I do still have my heater on. So we're just gonna shake this up. All right. So when you're in the field, you learn some special tricks too. Like some people put their peanut butter in here, they put their blackberry jam in here, they'll make some pudding, they'll crush their bread up in there and make ranger pudding, different things like that. I can't remember the exact recipes I used to, but you can get creative, really make some cool things. We're gonna take a little sip of this. Not bad. But yeah, I've seen people take their bread before and crumble it up and throw it in there. I don't know. Dump your raisins in there, shake it up, enjoy your meal, right? Not bad. So we made it. Made it through our first MRE, right? Good stuff. All right. So the plan is I'm going to post videos like this every Thursday. It's going to be different things. Next week is going to be how to tell military time and the phonetic alphabet. So what I need you to do is I need you to help me spread the message. I need you to like and subscribe and share this video. Tell your friends. In the comments below, I need you to comment about things that you want to see. Maybe some things that you liked about the video. Some things you didn't like. I don't care. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I'm a grown boy, right? But it's going to help me create content for you guys that you like coming to see, and that's what it's all about. I want this to be useful. So please do, like I said, like, share, subscribe. In the future, I'm going to do some giveaways in the comments, so I'll let you know when I light those things off. But good times. Thank you for attending Big Sarge's training time. So, again, 3 ups, 3 downs. We always do this at the end of our training. So what's 3 good things? Boom. I'll tell you 1, spaghetti was awesome. It was on point. My favorite meal. 2, I was able to eat with the helmet on. That was a plus. I haven't had that helmet on in a long time. I thought maybe my head got big. It did get a little big going bald, but apparently my ego isn't so big and my head swelled up. I still fit in my helmet. 3, showed y'all about the Gerber so that you don't cut yourself. So let's think about 3 things I could have done better. I don't know. I'm a perfectionist, but 3 things we could have done better. We could have saved that. Could have saved that heater for the hot cocoa, right? Let's see. I could have showed you the Ranger pudding. Could have crumpled the bread and put it in here. And the 3rd thing, somebody could have gave me a beverage bag in here. That'll be the 3rd thing. But I did tell you how to overcome that by saving them, right? Very important. Trust me, there'll be enough of them. People just throw them out. I used to save them bad boys all the time. Put things in there, put your playing cards in there. Tons of stuff. Great stuff. Thanks for tuning in. See you next Thursday.